Hello guys, gals, and unlearning pals, welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to go over how I made 40 million in the first week of patch 6.1. Let's go over everything that I sold, what worked and what definitely didn't, what was new, and more. So with that being said, let's get into it. So first off, what did we actually get? Patch 6.1. Brand new of the round weapons, specifically for Sage Reaper, Gunbreaker and Dancer, Susanna weapons, new crafter left side and tools, new gathering Masterbook items, new fish, new purple Scrip materials, new crafting and gathering food, new crafted Glamour, new housing items plus new housing, the extreme trial plus its housing item, barding, and orchestrion role. Now I won't go over each of these separately, but I do have lists for each of these sections down below, so if you're interested, I would go ahead and take a look. First off, let's go over what worked and what didn't. So first off, what didn't work? Now, I stocked up on a lot of materia, and I noticed a lot of people were stocking up the same way I did, but I feel like a few people made the mistake of stocking up way too late in the patch. Now, towards the end, right before 6.1, materia was going for around 25k a piece. Now, that's for even materials that you wouldn't usually use. Specifically, I'm talking about tens, cunning, and so on. The thing is, materia was at its highest before 6.1, and the moment 6.1 dropped, people started undercutting immediately. Now, like you and me, we probably stock up on a ton of materia for ourselves and to sell, but the trick is to check if people even have the gear yet. Stuff like the Alliance Raid, PvP, and more release on that day, and people are not in the mood for crafting when other things are on the table. Now, even 2 days later or 1 day later, people have not had any gear yet. I think this was 1 day after the patch, the 13th, and there were hardly any people with the top part of the crafting set, and much less having owned the tools yet. So no one is overmelding yet, no one is buying materia, and therefore the materia price dropped like crazy. So what I will do different next time is not to sell the first week of the patch. Wait to see when everyone has their crafting gear ready and ready for melding, or I'll sell towards the end of the patch when people are panic buying and materia is around 25k each. I also forgot to stock up on dyes and crystals. Now the trick is with live letters, you usually showcase the brand new crafted Glamour set along with any new raid outfits and Alliance raid outfits, and if the gear looks good to you, go ahead and stock up on these dyes. I really regret it because Jet Black was around 300k when I last saw it, and now it's 500k a piece. I also regret not stocking up on enough crystals, especially when I knew that there was going to be a brand new Scrip buyable item, which is the immutable solution. People are going to be crafting a ton of rarefied pieces, and they're going to be needing a lot of crystals, so therefore I should have remembered and bought a ton because now they're very, very expensive. But now what actually ended up working out for me? Well, with the release of the round weapons, I had a whole load of high mithrite, luminous fiber, glass fiber, wattle petri bark, etc. ready to go. Now, no one had these pieces at all, and I think no one was ready for this either. I definitely wasn't totally ready, but luckily I craft a whole load of Heavensward trial items all the time, so I was definitely stocked up on these. I was able to sell these for actually kind of disgusting amounts. I racked the price up as high as I could because I knew no one else had these on my server yet. So I made a ton that way, and overall they are still pretty good. Of course, take a look if you have a whole load of Grand Company seals. You can go ahead and get the glass fiber. It is around 10k a piece on my server, and you only need 7,000 seals to get one. Of course, if you do have the materials, craft them into luminous fiber because you'll make even more gil that way. And also, luckily I had a whole load of Blade of Revelries. Now, I've been stocking for these for around a year now. I had a lot, and luckily I wasn't the guy who bought them at 900k a piece the day of the patch. Now when you see this, don't buy it out that much because Susanna is very easy to farm and people already have a ton. Like I said, I've been stocking for these for a year. I had too many and I knew exactly what was going to happen. They were going to drop very, very quickly. So of course, when you do see it at 900k, don't go ahead and buy that. post it. When it drops to 400k, don't wait, it's not going to go back up, just post it as well. You need to ride the wave, it is not really going to go back up because usually these items are very easy to get and people have plenty already. Now, if you were like me, you bought these for 10k a piece. I also took a look and saw that the desynthesizable items were there and very cheap as well, so I bought these out, desynthesized them, and got a few more extra pieces, which of course I sold for a good amount. I also crafted the brand new weapons. I sold on the first day a few weapons for multiple millions, which is awesome. You're only going to get these prices at the first day of the patch, so make sure that you're crafting them as soon as possible. I also stocked up on a purple script materials, so luckily I had plenty of purple scripts to go around, and I was able to sell immutable solutions for an absolute fortune. Now we'll go over it very quickly on whether or not it is profitable to craft immutable solutions in just a bit, but of course at the very day of the patch and a few days after, it was an awesome price and very well worth it. Also, the aether sands that I had gotten, they were selling for an extreme amount. The endwood, the end tide, and the other aether sands were selling for so much. I bought these around 300 piece and they were going up to 5,000 per one. Of course, they already had dropped down now quite significantly, so you have to have these ready and on the go on the day of the patch and 2 days after. Also, finally, very quickly, if you had stocked up on housing items such as terrail lumber, sheelite, wolfram ingots, you are very happy right now. They sold for a ton and they are still selling for an absolute fortune. I assume these will still be riding on the wave for quite a while since housing is actually being extended due to all the bugs that happen, so don't worry, you're gonna still be able to craft these and sell them for a good amount of profit right now. Also, I've been selling HQ golden silks for a very good price, but any kind of intermediate HQ right now, it is very worth because you are required, if you are crafting with your conjuring gear, a few HQ items for the brand new crafting set. So take a look at that list down below. There will be plenty of resources for you to go ahead and take a look what intermediates are worth it. Now we can finally go over some of the brand new item. The brand new Scrip item is the immutable solution. Now I do have a team craft list down below that can show you how many purple Scrip verified collectibles you need to get one immutable solution and whether or not that is profitable on your server. So go ahead and take a look at that. It takes 2 crafts to get one immutable solution, but of course I left a note so you don't forget. These are very good to sell right now. If you have 2,000 purple scripts, you can get 15. If you're planning to get materia and you're crafting collectibles for them, then I advise instead to get immutable solutions, sell them, because you only get 4 materials per 2,000 scripts. You can get 15 immutable solutions for 2,000 scripts. So, of course, when the immutable solution is just as much as a piece of materia right now, I would rather you get the immutable solutions, sell them off, get the materia that way than buying the materia direct. Here is the brand new varsity set. Now, of course, this is down below along with the other lists, but if you were there for the first day of the patch, you were able to sell the varsity material for a ton. Now, of course, it is still quite worth it, but I would rather spend 11 million. Of course, that is a high amount of investment, but you do make 7 million back with just one full set. If you do have the means to go ahead and buy these items and craft immediately, I would say that is more worth it than spending time to go run maps. But if you do enjoy running maps and enjoy the RNG and hanging out with your friends, of course, go do that as well. Next up are the 2 new crafting and gathering foods, the calamari rapiani, and this one that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Now, of course, these are extremely profitable to craft right now, but don't forget about the Saibonu Vanu. Something like Blood Pool base from that last expansion was still selling at the very end of the patch because people will remember this as a crafting food. You can still sell this for a profit, but of course, these brand new ones are going for even more and selling even better. So of course, if you do have the means to craft these, I do advise. Now, along with these 2 dishes, we do have a brand new fish. Now, the new fish is the Thabnarian calamari, and of course, Teamcraft has all the information you need to go ahead and catch this fish. It shows where the fish is located, what times is ideal for fishing, what hook you need, what bait you need, etc. So of course, go take a look at this if you're interested in fishing this, and I assume that your retainer can go ahead and grab these as well. So if it is possible and your retainer is geared enough, I would recommend sending out your retainer for these. Now here is the brand new left side crafting and gathering plus tools. Now you can go up top and see the brand new Gatherables, which is the Thavatnerian corn, and the raw Eblin Danabrite. Now, of course, you do need your Masterbook tomes, so make sure you have these before you go ahead and take a look if you can gather these yourself. But also take a look at the intermediate, which of course would be the Hanish Fiber and the Eblin Danabrite. These sell exceptionally well at high quality, and if you don't want to go ahead and undercut with a whole load of people on the gear, intermediates are also a very good option. Now, of course, crafting gear is absolutely profitable, but you do have to deal with a whole load of undercutting, so if you don't mind sitting at the bell, this is obviously a great choice for you. But I do recommend crafting tools instead of the left side. Tools tend to not have as many people as there are for the left side gear fighting with you over prices. When I was selling an all, I only undercut maybe 3 times in one day, and I was able to sell it perfectly fine. In comparison with the chest piece and the headpiece, I was selling for around 3 days, and it was so hard to deal with people undercutting, so take a look. It might be different on your server than in mine, but I do recommend the tools rather than the left side. And finally, the latest extreme trial. Now, the blue feathers actually have dropped significantly. It is actually around 300k per piece, and I find that pretty crazy. I thought they would be more expensive for longer, but of course, it just means that you can craft the barding and the furnishing item for a lot cheaper and make a ton that way. Would I recommend starting to stockpile these right now with the price that cheap? I would buy a few. I assume that they will go back up later on when no one is really doing the fight. If you go ahead and look at Hades, it is more expensive than ever, or even something like the Plate of Light, it is also more expensive than ever. So I would recommend buying a few. At least I'm gonna buy around 10 right now, just because it's dropping within the 200k range, and I think that's a pretty good price for what it is. And finally, the brand new housing items for the outside and the inside. Now, a lot of these actually are selling exceptionally well even a week later. I didn't go ahead and start crafting these at the first day, but as I saw, they were exceptionally expensive. So of course, you can go ahead and start crafting these, especially with so many people having a brand new house. These are really worth it. And of course, if you would like a brand new furnishing list, it will be down below. So guys, that is it for my first week of patch 6.1. Hopefully what I learned could also help you for the next patch, for your next patch prep, and hopefully we can learn a little bit more with each patch going forward. So guys, thank you again so much for watching. Thank you to everyone that supports me on Twitch, Discord, and YouTube, and our lovely YouTube members. You all keep the channel going. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next video. Also on Sunday, I'll be doing a birthday stream. I will also be doing a giveaway, so if you're interested, I would love to see you here on either YouTube or Twitch. Alright guys, see you next time. Bye!